Why is XRP pumping right now? Why is XRP one of the best cryptocurrencies in the market? What is going on? Why is this coin going so crazy? I'll name a lot of reasons. Reason number one, XRP hit $3.50, let's say back in 2017, with no all-time high after that. So in 2021, when a lawsuit came against Ripple, actually December 22nd, I think of 2020, well, the price really didn't peak, really didn't do too much. A lot of people are speculating that right now it's basically to let out a lot of what was missed in the previous run, which is why XRP is going a lot quicker than other coins. So basically, like a little bit like a revenge, you know? Point number two, XRP, theoretically speaking, versus Bitcoin is at one of the worst positions it's ever been at. In the past, here, for example, back when it reached the previous all-time high, or actually the current all-time high still, XRP was worth half of what Bitcoin is, taking a look at it, right? That would still be like a 9x or something like that versus Bitcoin at these current prices, and especially if we consider prices from like a few days ago, so just before this crazy pump, that would have been like a 4,000% increase. And so from that perspective, XRP has done a lot here in terms of a pump, but generally speaking, it is not that much yet in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you're specifically asking the move from $2 up, we've stated before that, well, we've really only seen $2 per XRP for a very short amount of time back in 2018. Back in 2021, yes, we saw a crazy wick towards 196, but generally speaking, we didn't really go to great heights. Everything above 157, 156 or so per XRP is basically like unprecedented territory, except for sometime 7 years ago. But most people buying XRP right now, most people trading XRP right now were not there for it. So for most people, the moment it broke above 157, matter of fact, it's not really been trading above $1 for much either. I always said, the moment it breaks $1, it's going to be a pretty quick rise towards the all-time high. But right now we've seen the moment it broke $1.60 or so, it was a very, very quick move to $2.50 because, well, there was not really anything holding it back. Yes, the $2 mark was interesting for a little bit, but we crossed it right quick, all the way towards the next psychological barrier, $2.50. And that brings up an interesting point. Why XRP out of a lot of other coins? Because many are in the same XRP, or I should say coin to Bitcoin situation. Well, a part of it has to do with the fact that XRP has many interesting things going for themselves. You could talk about know what you hold in terms of utility. We'll talk about that later though. Now, before we move on, guys, if you're also looking to trade crypto like we are doing right here, right now we're still, even though prices are correcting in about maybe $120,000, $130,000 worth of profit, and we put $250 on a Blowfin account here, which right now is in $3,500 worth of profit in just like 2 weeks. If you also want to trade, a link is down below, and within the next 48 hours, for Cyber Monday, I'll also be picking 5 lucky winners that use the link down below to send them to Blowfin and give them $1,000. Just check the link down below. In 48 hours, I'll announce exactly who won, $1,000 to 5 people, and everybody in the world can use it, so it's pretty simple. If it's not working for you, whatever, just use VPN, but let's move on. Make sure you press the like button, by the way. So utility is a good part, but I'd say hype is something critical when it comes to coins pumping this much. And a little fun fact, you know that coins like XLM have actually done even better than XRP, and HBAR has actually also done better than XRP? So it's not as if the coin is alone in its journey, it's just the coin that I luckily enough hold the most of. But the same could kind of be said about XLM, HBAR, Algorand, ADA, all these quote-unquote utility coins. And here's a part of what I mean. So when we're taking a look at XRP or Ripple or let's also type in crypto, for example. What you'll find is that, generally speaking, right now the trend for XRP, if we're taking a look at the numbers, is literally higher than for anything else. It is higher than, we can actually skip Ripple. It was just to kind of have a comparison for the 2017 run when XRP was still called Ripple. But if we take a look at December of 2024, we can see that right now the trend for XRP is literally the highest it's ever been. One point. But first of all, because a lot of people weren't here back in the day, right? But second of all, because XRP is being held by a lot of normal people that are not actively trading it too much. They just want to make a freaking good, crazy return on their money. And they're happy to keep looking in, keep checking back. And since, as I just told you, it's really hyped up and has been forever, but right now, since the price is also pumping, a lot of those things are getting combined together. So hype, because it's always had that. People have always believed in this coin like it's going to change the entire world. But now the price is actually kind of reflecting that. And people are now looking it up more than ever, also because it just flipped Solana, it just flipped USDT, and people are all of a sudden on Twitter going completely crazy about just how crazy this run is for a dinosaur coin. A dinosaur coin being a coin that basically had its major run in 2017, maybe also did well in 2021, but basically is from the old ages, so to speak. And right now, as it stands, I mean, Bitcoin is doing good, sure, but there's no real newfound excitement or enthusiasm for Bitcoin that was not found in the previous cycles. I mean, maybe when it went from 90 to 100,000, there was crazy hype and excitement, sure. But right now, but just went back to 95. A lot of people really are kind of like, oh, what's the next thing going to be? But they're not actively all telling their friends about Bitcoin, Bitcoin. A lot of them people are telling their friends about, let's quickly find it, meme coins, which have been really, really hyped up in the last few weeks. If we take a look at those numbers, then again, though, they're quite non-existent. But if we take a look at the Doge chart, you can see it just went from 1 to 7 as people are looking it up a lot more. Meme coins, however, does not really scale against all these other behemoths. To get back to it, a lot of people over on Twitter have right now started memeing XRP. The TikToks that have been made about XRP are going everywhere. The views on XRP are insane. And it's kind of like a compounding effect. The more attention it gets, but the price keeps doing well after getting all that attention, the more people that are in profit now, together with the fact that every single person who's ever bought in is in profit right now, as we're basically at an all-time high. You had like 5 days, maybe even less, or maybe 2 days to actually buy higher at an XRP price than this. So basically everybody's in profit. If you combine all those things together, and again, the price just keeps on increasing, you get even more excitement, especially when you keep breaking the previous ladders and when people realize that in comparison to old prices, it really hasn't done that much yet in terms of a move. It just all compounds. It just keeps stacking and stacking. And if you're wondering, I just decided to grab a few posts here on Twitter. How are your shitcoins doing, son? Look like you should have bought a real coin like XRP. You can see the amount of excitement that it gets. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 says here that one of the reasons might be that, let me quickly show you guys if I can. President Trump's administration reportedly plans to eliminate capital gains taxes on cryptocurrencies issued by U.S. registered companies. If enacted, this move would exempt American investors from taxes on profits gained from holding certain digital assets. And since XRP won their lawsuit against the SEC, we right now think the lawsuit might be dropped because Gary Gensler is getting fired. Another point is Gary Gensler is getting fired. Another point is that Ripple might announce a massive thing, RLUSD, in the next few days. Another thing, it could be that Trump is getting into office. A part of that, again, a subdivision might be that he might do some bullish thing like we saw just right now. Then we've got the EVM sidechain compatibility. We've got new memes on the XRP ledger finding some circle. And theoretically speaking, XRP is always a good, at least always risk to reward wise, a very, very good idea to go for. In November, Kobe said, and he actually says on the 50 IQ scale, only Bitcoin and XRP. Then in the middle, we've got all the crazy DeFi coins. But then on the 150 IQ scale, again, only BTC and XRP, because actually, if we're taking a look at the crypto runs, XRP always does well, right? 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 changed his name to XRP 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and he cannot change his name anymore. It's kind of funny. I might have sent an interesting message around to Trading Lord. The comments here are roasting me. Anyway, right now we're outperforming, but also because, well, it's been like suppressed for so long. Some people are selling at these prices, sure, but generally speaking, most people still are expecting XRP to go higher over the run. And it's just, as I'm showing you right now, a lot of people that never talk about XRP have all of a sudden started talking about it again. Even Dimitris here says, XRP is going to crash. And then he says, my target, $3.50 to $4 or something like that. And look at how XRP has performed against Solana. Solana's just absolutely getting shredded. And again, a lot of memes, a lot of jokes are getting hundreds of thousands of views. But I think a lot of this has to do perhaps with that new Trump rule, which I didn't know too much about. That could be an interesting one to follow up a bit later on. There was some hype about a Brad Garlinghouse interview, but that's not coming through. And people always think that, again, most people will just start buying XRP when we're at the crazy heights. And I guess it's kind of true. Right now, the attention is at an all-time high, even though price-wise, we're practically at all-time highs as well. And that's kind of like the duality of men, huh? That people like to get excited when things are in a worse spot than, you know, when they're cheap and kind of look bad. And obviously, all the things I've just said, they keep stacking up. There's multiple things on the utility side that you can say. Like, interesting things are happening from the Ripple side. They're making this, they're thinking of this, they're building that. But I honestly don't think it matters that much, because a lot of people that are aping into XRP right now have first of all never even heard of Ripple, which is a nice part of the lawsuit. But second of all, they have no idea about the tech. They're just aping because things are doing well. And because logically, looking at the fact that it did about $3.50 back in 2017, and right now it's on a good pace, not really looking to be stopped. People think it can go way higher. I don't know, man. 1 + 1 = 2. People ape in because they expect things to do better and because the Bitcoin run really is not that far in yet. Yes, Bitcoin just corrected. Yes, Bitcoin just crashed. But generally speaking, for the run, we're not that far in. I still think we've got a couple of months of gains to go for Bitcoin. If that's the case, many of our alts will flourish. And so all we need to do is just basically keep buying the freaking dips for any one of our coins. And we'll be, as far as I'm concerned, completely fine. The trades are still actually doing okay on most of the coins except for WIF. That's completely getting destroyed. I don't know why I entered with such size on that trade. Generally speaking, though, you can see XRP still in about 50K on profit on our $1,100 that we put in. So definitely not too bad. And I expect this to continue on, ladies and gentlemen. So how high can XRP go? At the end of the day, nobody really knows for sure. If I had to put up a price prediction of my own, by the way, there's so many people talk about XRP right now, it's crazy. I would say a couple multiples of its old all-time high is not that crazy. 2017, Bitcoin 20,000, XRP $3. 2021, Bitcoin 3.5x to 70,000, XRP down to 2. Right now, Bitcoin from 70 to 100. I think it will go higher. And again, XRP from 2 to 250. Like, I think it can do a couple multiples of where we're at today. Not financial advice, though. These are just my thoughts. But guys, I think that's the main reason why it's pumping. You might say, Dusty, it's actually Ripple buying, da 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 da. I think mostly it's really just excitement and hype, especially because it keeps breaking records. It keeps going higher in terms of price. It keeps going higher in terms of rankings. Right now it's back, or at least it was back for a bit in the number 3 spot. Right now it just came back down below Tether because the price just dropped about 10% in a bit. But the more it keeps doing well, the more people that start looking it up, the more that little circle goes around. And so last but not least, all I'll say is sometimes it really helps to not really fight the pump too much, but just respect the pump. What I mean with that, with regards to XRP, is a lot of people were really much against it. Whenever it went to $1, like, oh, it's going to go back to 40 cents soon. Went to $1.20, oh, it's going to go back to $1 soon. Went to $1.60, oh, it's going to actually go, it's going to crash from here. And it keeps going up and up and up. In bull markets, that's why I always say, you can be the counter and say, no, this is where it ends. But generally speaking, once the excitement starts building up, that's the reason bull markets crash so hard at some point, is because people just keep going because, well, it's most logical, right? When the market goes up, what do you expect is going to happen next? The market to go up more. Some people are against that idea. They're like, no, you got to make sure you find the top and short, whatever. But more money has been made longing the freaking longs than trying to time everything perfectly with regards to shorting the top. It's so incredibly hard, especially in a bull market. Because generally speaking, a crypto cycle is 4 years. 3 of that is up, 1 of them is down. Why go against the grain? Why try to find that little point of time, that one fourth the time when things go down? Well, you can also just enjoy mostly up. And that's also people's expectation here. That, well, XRP is picking up the pace. Why would it stop right now? And a counter to that as well, it's up like 400% in a month. So a correction is due. That's a counter to it. But the other counter to it as well, I mean, the hype is just getting started. We can see XRP take over now in the Google Trends. Maybe this is just the start of the craziest rally. And this is where XRP starts overtaking again versus Bitcoin and just starts absolutely ripping. Again, never will I say that it's going to go back to the old levels because those times have gone, right? But even if we were to just take some of it back, get back to maybe about these levels right here, that's a 13x from the bottom that we were at just now. And from current prices, maybe still, a couple 100%, maybe still a couple hundred. Just again, as Bitcoin stays at 100,000. If Bitcoin still does a 3x, this also could be a 3x times a 3x, which means a 10x for XRP without it being that odd in comparison to previous Bitcoin relative prices. So yeah, I'm bullish. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you press that like button and maybe put the notification bell on so you're always up to date whenever something crazy happens, as I always live stream these crazy events, even at 5 a.m. So make sure you stick around, press that like button, subscribe for more, and that's about it.